didn't even have to kill a spider for me this week.
But the last couple of days there have been a lot of spiders.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3. Are we calling this episode 3?
I mean, yeah, technically. We put out a little blurb last week because my family was struck with some tragedy. And we'll get into that in just a minute. First, we'll introduce ourselves. Go ahead.
I'm Howard. I am known as Mina Lead on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow me there, or Mina Lead's Miniature Worlds on Instagram is my public hobby account. I make custom gaming terrain and accessories for tabletop gamers, and I sell houses for people that want to live in them in the real world. So I tell people I sell houses really big and really little.
That's true. You do. And I'm Michelle, also known as Forever Mia Knits on Instagram and Ravelry. I am a knitter, spinner, sometimes sewer, etc. And I'm also the nursery coordinator at our church and aspiring knitwear designer. But like I said last time, we'll see where that goes. I did acquire some yarn for a potential design. We have 3 daughters. They're 8, 10, and 12 years old, and we're coming to you from Portland, Oregon. And today is June 27th. I didn't want to say it because I would probably get it wrong again.
June 27th, 2022.
Because it's June 28th.
Wait, is it? Oh, it's June 28th.
It's Tuesday, June 28th.
I don't know.
It's Tuesday, not Monday.
He's so happy that I screwed that up.
Last time we recorded on a Monday.
Okay.
So anyways. One of these days we might get the date right. But also our life is
I'll say, we'll edit that out later.
Like,
we're not gonna edit that out.
A friend described this really well, and our life has kind of been like a snow globe that's been shaken up. And as the pieces settle, there's someone very dear missing. And so yeah. Basically, on June 8th, my brother took his life, and so we are now lost survivors for anyone who has also experienced the loss of a loved one to suicide. And so we've been grieving a lot and processing a lot, and just needed to take some time this last week when we were going to record. I think we were able to be with family, and we have an incredible support system who have been feeding us and sending us some really great resources, and I wanted to share some of those.
You gonna hold your coffee?
So one of the first ones that was so fantastic is a book called Every Moment Holy, and it's not meant to say like every moment is great, but that every moment is full of the holy and the precious. And this book is the second volume in a series of liturgies, and this one focuses on death and grief and hope, and it has just had such a rich, comforting language to express a lot of the things that are here that have a hard time coming out of here. And it's been really helpful. And
including stuff specific to like the loss of a sibling.
Yeah, loss of a sibling, loss of someone to suicide, on returning to work after losing someone, like really specific. And for not just that, those losses, loss of someone to chronic illness or caregiving for someone whose life, or there's many nuances to the many liturgies in this book for anyone going through grief or loss. I just started in this one this morning in the introduction. It's called, a friend sent it to us, called Understanding Your Suicide Grief. And it comes with a companion journal, and so I'll be working through that. And then also this has been a really beautiful book that all of our girls have read through, called Tear Soup. And so that has been a really, really lovely resource too. And so we won't do like a reading rainbow moment, but that's kind of your reading rainbow book moment for if you're experiencing grief, or if you know someone, I would highly recommend sending them these resources. It's been a huge encouragement. And Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add to that?
I was just noticing that out of all of the knitted things that you have here, I don't see your tier cloth. Do you have that with you? Oh, it's in your pocket.
In my pocket.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
On the day we found out about my brother, we initially found out that he was missing and didn't know all the details yet. And so on that day, our oldest daughter said, as I was anxiously productive, is how she worded it, because I made 12 dishcloths in one day because I just couldn't keep still. Because I had to physically keep still because I hurt my leg that day. And I had to keep my leg up, and I was completely immobile and felt completely helpless. And so my hands were working. And then I've kept this, my sister-in-law named this my weeping cloth.
Yeah.
And so I've basically had it with me every day as the tears come up, just to catch my tears.
Couldn't help but notice though you smiled a little bit when you said you hurt your knee.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
we'll maybe share that story next time.
Well, I mean, it fits in because like some of the things in that week before the 8th, we'd been trying to do a lot of really fun things with our kids because schools weren't out yet and we homeschooled, so we were done. So we went to the art museum to see the Frida Kahlo exhibit, and we went to the zoo, and that's where I hurt my leg because I was trying to take a shortcut at the zoo where I wasn't supposed to. So now I'm in physical therapy. So stay on the assigned paths at the zoo.
Please.
Please.
Especially when your husband tells you to. Or, anybody that you're with that is able to read the sign that says you're not supposed to go through there.
It has kept me feeling very helpless in a time that I already felt helpless. Okay, humble. That's a good word. And it's kept me really dependent. It's kept me really dependent in a lot of ways, good ways.
Yeah.
So, do you have any projects what's on the workbench?
Yeah,
That's what
what's
it
on
is.
the workbench.
That's
So last time I shared these little guys, these are the tree rex and triceratops from the Hagglethorn Hollow Kickstarter done by Printable Scenery. They're really fun. I assembled them. I think they were mostly assembled last time you saw them, but I hadn't filled the gaps. So I filled the gaps, especially on the tree rex, which were pretty substantial, and then just airbrushed a base coat on them. But I also assembled the third one of them.
Is that what his neck is supposed to look like?
The Brachiosaurus, so he's pretty cool. A lot fewer gaps, just in where the neck and head are attached.
I feel like there should be a bird nest right there.
You could put a bird nest there. And again, that's from Hagglethorn Hollow, from Printable Scenery. And then I also have this one that I'm working on. This is a forest dragon.
That's so amazing.
Which I think I want to do like a full forest board for these creatures. I'll do some sentient trees and a custom base for all of them so that I can do like a full-on fantasy forest. This one is actually from oh my gosh, Mini Monster Mayhem is the maker of this one, and it's the forest dragon from him.
Leaves look like almost an exact cast of Arborvitae.
They kind of do.
That's really neat.
They kind of do. We were in Southern California in a big rental house with Michelle's whole family, pretty much her whole family. Mm-hmm. 2 of her siblings and her parents and all of the kids. And she was able to get knitting done.
There's definitely a lull. There's like an emotional...
Absolutely. But there's, like, it's a lot harder to, like, take...
Oh, yeah.
Paints and 3D printers and miniatures.
My hobby is very portable, which much to your...
It could
like dismay, because even if we're watching a show or he's driving and I'm the passenger, I just have more little gaps in the day to fill my hobby space and time and creativity in. But it has been I was being like super productive.
Yeah.
And then I had a lull, and then I was having a hard time getting some traction, but I did.
Now, your other brother, Mark, has recently taken up knitting. And one of our favorite things to see during the last 2 weeks, during that trip in particular, was some special date time with our youngest daughter and her uncle Mark, Michelle's brother Mark. And they would spend like 20 minutes a day, just the two of them, off on their own in a little space.
To sit and knit a bit, they would say.
Knit a bit. And they would just
so
talk
cute.
about whatever. And I got to take some photos and videos of that, which was really, really
It was
sweet.
really, really special for them to have that quality time, because he doesn't live very close to us.
Yeah.
And then at one point, my brother and I, and then two of my daughters and another niece were all sitting and knitting together in a little knitting circle. So that was really precious too.
I'd like to think that I could have gotten some of them painting miniatures if I'd had the wherewithal to like make a portable miniature kit, but probably that's not true.
Do you want me to share what's on the needles now?
Yes, you have to share what's on the needles, and
Okay.
I just have to say in advance that I don't have anything finished
That's okay.
because of
I have my little basket here. So one of the things that was already on the needles last time that I've been slowly chugging away on, just because the yarn is very thin. You can like barely even see that against my skin. That's how thin it is. But I have been working on the sleeves of this sweater, and we're not like worried about getting it done anytime soon because it's summertime now. But you
it
can
was
see
95 degrees in Portland yesterday.
the length of the sleeves, and I'm doing them 2 at a time on a magic loop, and her arms are so long that I'm only like, this is the halfway point of what it needs to be, because her arms are quite long. Our daughter, 12-year-old, is so tall.
Yeah.
So I've just been working away on that, and that was a really good project of just doing straight knit stitches over and over and over again. It was nice and mindless once I got it going. And the second project that I started, I will put the name of it in the show notes below, because I'm blanking on it right now. But I do know that it's by the designer Kat Bordy, and basically it's kind of a very free-form pattern. You start by ribbing, and then there is a cable recipe that you choose to cable whenever you want to or feel like it. And I'd initially had this set up as a hat ribbing last time we were on here, and that just wasn't feeling right. And so as soon as I recalled that pattern, it felt like just the right kind of a pattern to channel some of my grief and feelings into, because it looks very much like the waves of emotion that you kind of go through. And sometimes it felt easy to just take it straight, and then every once in a while you could just crisscross it, and it ends up being a cowl that you wear around your neck. The other part of that too being that it felt really right to do it half in blue and half in purple, because if you look up the ribbon for lost survivors, it's half blue and half purple. So that is going to end up being very special to my heart project, and was really, really cathartic to work on, and I'll just keep coming back to it, because loss and grief takes a long time.
Maybe even forever.
Maybe even forever. Yep. I got a little more done on this project, and if you saw my Instagram page, then you would have seen that this perfectly matches our shower curtain unintentionally, which was really funny to be in the bathroom and be like,
I knew it looked familiar.
that looks really familiar, which was very silly. And two other projects right now. I'm working on a comfort blanket for my nephew.
And he likes very mellow and muted tones.
Oh my gosh. As soon as I started doing this, I was like, how are this? Looks like Popples.
Yeah, Popples.
The stuffed animal, like from the 80s,
Popples
90s.
love to party.
And like those are the colors that are sweet and
I'll shoot a picture of my brother's Popple prize. So I think he still has, actually.
And then I'm also working on a prayer shawl, basically, for my sister-in-law.
Yeah.
In her loss. So that's what this is. And this is the Birds of a Feather
Design.
pattern by Andrea Mowry, Dre Renee Knits. And just using, funny enough, I'm using Murray Woolco from her
Schitt's Creek
from
inspired.
her Schitt's Creek inspired line called David. Because my brother who passed away, his name is David, and I just thought that's really fun and funny. And like even in the grief and sadness, like there are levities and moments where you laugh and you're like, I don't understand why I'm able to laugh right now, because it feels like I should just be shattered and falling apart, and I am, but there's also moments of levity. So that's how that goes, because grief is chaotic, and one moment it feels very real, and one moment it feels completely surreal. So,
and also we're made to hold an entire range of emotion.
And it's amazing what
can hold multiple feelings at the same time.
Yeah.
So I don't have anything finished. So
it's like our two
what have you
personalities.
done today to make you feel proud? And I've done nothing. Except that I ordered a new 3D printer. And how big is the box for it, Michelle?
Very
Can you show
big.
us with your arms?
Oh man.
How big is it? It's big. It's the Anycubic Cobra Max, which was on sale, and Michelle let me buy it in a moment of weakness. Not saying that I took advantage of her grief to buy a new 3D printer.
No,
that's not
you
really
absolutely
what
did
happened.
not. There was a sale happening, and it was something that was already on the docket.
So
yeah,
I will be getting rid of my older Anycubic Mega X printer.
So if anybody's looking to buy one,
on the cheap,
send us a message. Shoot a message down below in the comments. And
you have to put the new hot end on yourself.
I don't know what that means. So,
that's all right. But what have you done today to make yourself feel proud?
I felt very proud. I finished.
Did you bring all 11 of the washcloths that you made?
No. I finished the little sweater for my niece for her first birthday, and put these cute little flower buttons on it.
I'm glad we didn't give it to her.
And we saw her, and I forgot to give it to her, but now I can show it. So there you go. And then on a excited whim, or like right after we recorded the first episode, I cast on this sweater for our 8-year-old, and that is with hand spun yarn. It's with hand spun yarn by Wool Fiend, and it initially had all the colors running simultaneously. So I first drafted all the pink away and all the yellow into its own, and all the blue and green and purple into their own, and then split each of the colors into 8, and then spun them in rainbow order over and over again to create
a stripe. Sparkle in it,
and it had sparkle in it. It was called Ponytails. It was by Wool Fiend, which she's fantastic and has some really beautiful fibers and colors. So that was really fun. It was just the flax pattern by Tin Can Knits, which Tin Can Knits do patterns, and they have it was a free pattern. I've knit Howard a sweater out of that pattern. I've knit myself. I've knit sweaters for all my girls out of that pattern, because it's just a great, straightforward, like awesome first sweater knitter pattern. Comes in sizes from like 0 to 3 months up to multi XL sizes. And then these are just a few of the the dozen dishcloths. I kept some. We gave some to some of the family that hosted us on our way down for my brother's service, and have a few more to give away. So that was like really cathartic to have my hands moving. So that's all that am working on and have finished. And I had to pull that sweater out of our daughter's drawer because she's already worn it and put it away.
Yeah, we were going to talk about the Renaissance Fair and the knitting
Worldwide
Knit
Knit Public Day on the 11th.
But we were literally driving down to Southern California from Portland
Yep.
instead of going to the Renaissance Fair.
And I couldn't even pick up needles that day.
Yeah, it was pretty awful.
So that was that day. And then one of the things that I am looking forward to trying, we'll see. I have not done any spinning for a while now, like at least a month or so. But the Tour de Fleece is happening from July 1st through the 24th. And if you, in the D&D world, have never heard about this, which, I mean, why would you? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe there's people out there that have crossover between our hobbies.
I'm sure.
But if you know anything about the Tour de France...
Some knitical rollers.
Yes. The Tour de Fleece is just a spin-off.
Oh, geez. And the Tour de France is already a spinning competition.
Tour de France. So it takes place on the same dates. There are really competitive groups. I'm part of I joined the Ravelry's really basic, like, novice group.
You're not going to dope for it.
Never done it
Like,
before.
you're not going to oxygenate your blood.
No.
Stuff like that.
And there's really just whatever you're, for the free, like, just wanting to participate group, you set all your own goals. You can take rest days from spinning fiber the same days that there are rest days in the Tour de France.
Okay.
It runs the same length as the Tour de France. There are some groups that are very competitive about, like, you need to spin X amount every day, or you need to spin every day, but this is like, you set your own goal. So I do have a goal of spinning a pound of fiber during that duration.
Okay.
On the wheel, and then hoping that that's enough fiber to knit a sweater quantity out of.
Okay.
And then we're going to be camping a couple times, and so I also need to bring something to spin on my drop spindle on the days that we're camping. And also I might decide that it's too much to think about right now and not do it at all, but we'll see. I love giving myself completely arbitrary goals and trying to meet them. Like, how much can I get done on this in this week? Or I'm halfway through a sock. I'm going to try and finish it tomorrow. So, I don't know. I set random goals for myself like that when I'm functioning at my best. And right now, life's a little rocky. So, we're just taking in things a day at a time.
Yeah.
And trying to just love each other well. So.
Just trying to do the next right thing.
Yeah. It's true. That song
from Frozen 2.
Frozen 2 has been a blessing and a curse.
Yeah. I knew the moment that we saw that movie that if anything ever tragic happened, that song would only ever make me cry.
Yep. It made me cry the first time I saw it, and it will forever make me cry now. And our girls thought of it instantly, and I was like, oh no, I'm already thinking about it. They're just saying what's already in my head.
Yeah.
So, I think the last section, unless there's anything else that you wanted to show or share about your crafting, is the section that we like to have about gratitude.
Yeah.
And gratitude is incredibly powerful. I actually found in going through some old photos and videos and things as we've been pulling things out, to remember my brother, I found a journal that I had written in many years ago. And it started just by saying, I don't think this is gonna work, but my mom told me that I should write down the things that I'm grateful for. So here it goes. And first I listed all the things that were hard in my life at that moment. And then I started listing all the things that I was grateful for. And the things that were hard was maybe, I named, maybe half a page. And the list of things that I was grateful for went on for pages. And then that journal entry ended with, my dad just interrupted me. I was really on a roll and probably could have kept going And just what an incredible perspective shift it was to just take the time to write out the things that I was grateful for versus the things that were actually hard in my life. Even at that time, and even in these days, we continue to sing a song of gratefulness with our children every night. Even on the night that we found out that my brother wasn't with us anymore.
Yeah.
Because we do have a lot to be thankful for, even in the midst of tragedy. So I'm really thankful for my family. That's what I'm going to say today.
Gosh. I am incredibly thankful for the community of loving and caring people that we have in our lives. I'm really thankful that during that week, really those first 10 days, but like for a full week, that we were able to be together with the rest of your family.
Yeah.
Even your uncles, your dad's two brothers.
Yeah.
I'm really thankful that we decided not to drive back up from Southern California in one day like we've done before. And we were able to take our time. We actually spent a couple of nights in different spots. We stayed in Monterey and went to the Monterey Bay Aquarium, which is apparently at the cross streets of David and Wave Streets, which I took a picture of and I'll share on the video, which I think is just like a visual reminder of that sensation, that wave of grief that hits. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
Because it's a David wave. Like it is just what it is. I lost my dad in 2019. The week before our family trip to Disneyland. Not my dad. My dad wasn't going to go. Our family, the five of us, went to Disneyland. And that's a very different kind of a grief. He had been sick for a very long time, and very different.
You were saying while he died.
Well, he
much
was
too young.
Yeah. He did die younger than he should have. He was a cancer survivor. He'd always been sick after having survived cancer. He was sick many times. And like that, the reality of his being gone has continued to hit me in different moments. So I already know that it's going to be years if it ever doesn't hit you.
It's always gonna hit me.
So
in some capacity or another.
yeah. And we just want to encourage anybody that is watching to just reach out if they need someone to talk to hear them. We are blessed to have such an amazing community around us, and we would be delighted to help you find resources and ways to connect in your need if that's something that you need. I don't know. So
yeah. I mean, I don't think we can be there for the entire internet, but we
that's true. But we are hopeful that we'll be able to provide encouragement to anybody that is in our life, because that's really the main reason that we wanted to start doing this anyway, was to express our gratitude and to encourage other crafters.
Yeah, to encourage crafters to support each other. And as this new grief has been laid before us, we feel like, okay, well, maybe this is something else that we are being asked to step into and share about.
We don't know how to do it yet.
We might not share about it every time we record, but as things come up, because grief is a very long, lifelong process, there may be times that we tap into that too, but in the big picture, we do feel like creating and crafting and art are incredibly therapeutic. And so encourage you to create and encourage one another and inspire and Pray that your craft is healing for you and wherever you are and whatever's going on in your life. And I just thank you for taking the time to watch our little bit of what's going on in our world. Anything else?
No. Yeah, just thank you so much.
It's like longest outros.
Thank you so much for being here, and we'll do what we can to just continue to be here.
Yeah.
So we'll plan on doing another one of these again in 2 weeks. Quick reminder, we are still doing this giveaway. All you have to do is go on to my Instagram and follow me, Leeds Miniature Worlds. I was going to share the stickers.
And when it gets to 1,000, there you go.
When it gets to 1,000, we'll do a giveaway. There's my logo for Leeds Miniature Worlds. These are magnets. And Michelle and I,
Right here.
I can't even find them. We have stickers of our joint Lego, holographic stickers. So if these are so cool, aren't they? What were you saying? Like all of your wildest 80s
I said all
stickers?
my wildest
80s and 90s.
early 90s sticker collection dreams were coming true. That he picked the holographic one because I had a sticker collection book. And there was totally like the page dedicated to just the holographic stickers.
So if you want a sticker from our new collection, whatever,
Our logo.
shoot us a message on just drop us a message below and like message us your address, I guess, and we'll send you one. How cool is that? Anyways.
You're just giving free stickers to the world.
Just free. We've only got 50 of them, so the first 50 applicants only.
Okay. There needs to be some limitations. Even though we're reaching like
10 people.
This is
People
on
do
the
crazy
internet.
things for stickers.
You never know. In 5 years, someone could be like sending you their address saying, "Hey, can I get that sticker?"
That's true. I didn't
There
think
need to
about
be
that.
some constraints.
Didn't think about how long it might be
Restrictions.
out there in cyberspace. All right. Until next time, best of everything to you.
Happy crafting.
Bye.
Bye.